Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we would have a career reading to find out what changes to your career are coming to you over the next 6 months. This is a timeless reading and we have 4 piles to choose from today, from left to right, pile 1, 2, 3 and 4. So as usual, I've attached a GIF, a looping image to each pile. I think the GIFs might help you if you would like to choose visually. I think a good idea, a good way to choose would be to let your eyes lose focus as you meditate and let your eyes drift to the image that is calling out to you, that is resonating with you. Of course, if you have other ways, other methods that you like to choose, that is more than okay as well. So I'll keep the GIFs looping on screen for about a minute or so, and I'll keep the timestamps in the description box below. So see you in about a minute. Hi, good one. Let's look at your cards. First up, we have the Five of Swords. Next, we have the Page of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Hermit. Okay, I was planning to only draw 3 cards for each pile, but after I drew the 3 cards, I happened to look at the bottom of the deck and I saw this card, the Hermit. And I just got the feeling that I really should include it in a spread. So there we are. I ended up drawing 4 cards for all 4 piles in this reading. Next we have the Hanged Man. Here we have I'm sorry, defenselessness, writing past wrongs, uprooting. Here there's Waxing Crescent 3, growth. Next we have Rebellion. And this is the Tsukuyomi no Mikoto. I think this is a representation of the moon deity in Japanese mythology. And this particular card, to my understanding, speaks about the time of healing. And finally, we have the Five of Spades, the Circle of Crows. Okay, I rearranged the cards a little bit to make them fit into the screen better. So immediately for this pile, I think that the next 6 months for you would be a time of healing. You'll be taking a respite, taking a pause in your career. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like I mentioned, it's a time of healing. It's not like a period of time where you're at a loss of what to do. You're not sure about what you're going to do next. Although it may feel that way because of the Five of Pentacles. Sorry, the Five of Spades, the Circle of Crows here. So this card is about looking. When you're looking around you and all you see are these ominous crows on dead branches and you don't know where to go, you feel like you're surrounded by them. However, I think what the cards are saying is that instead of focusing on the external instead of looking out, trying to look into the future, trying to see into the future and realize you're not sure about what lies ahead. Instead of doing that, it's better to focus inward, better to focus more on yourself over the next 6 months. So this card here, the moon deity, the Tsukuyomi no Mikoto, is about connecting with nature during a time of healing. Specifically in a guidebook for this card, it talks about it asks the querent, why are you working so hard? Is it because you want to fulfill other people's expectations, or is it because you care about what other people think? And when you receive this card, it's time for you to evaluate what it is that you really want. Perhaps just focus on yourself, focus on your well-being, reconnect with nature. Okay, this is a time for you to step on your brakes, take a pause. I see that with the Hanged Man as well, and also the Hermit. This is not a time for you to, continue to work your ass off, continue to make plans, continue to do what it is that you feel like it's not working for you. So I do see that some of you who are watching this reading could have been in a situation where you just felt stuck, where you felt like you might be doing something that makes no sense to you, that feels like it's draining your energy. You might be doing something that just doesn't feel fulfilling to you. Or you might have been working at a goal, working at an ambition that you really want, but you just feel like you're not achieving the goals that you want. Perhaps you are a perfectionist. Perhaps you're comparing yourself to other people. Perhaps you feel like you are not as accomplished as other people who are your age, or who are at the same job as you are. So this spread is telling you to take a break. Perhaps you were approaching this the wrong way. Now with the 5 of Swords, I feel like you might have felt betrayed by something. Perhaps somebody stole an opportunity that you felt belonged to you. Perhaps somebody took credit for something that you felt belonged to you. Or perhaps you just put in so much effort into this particular thing and you feel like you're not getting the rewards you deserved. And you might have been a little angry about it with the Rebellion card. I do see multiple meanings, multiple readings with the Rebellion card though. So one of it is that I feel like you've just been very angry at your environment, at the structures around you. Perhaps you might be working in a very hierarchical company and your boss took the credit, and you feel very frustrated at the structure. Just perhaps you enjoy the job, but you're just very frustrated with the environment, very frustrated with the work culture. And I think this is a time for you to say, try to let go of that anger. I see that with the I'm sorry card here. Now, I don't necessarily mean that you should go around apologizing to other people if you truly feel like they have wronged you in some way. However, if you have lashed out at people in the past, even though it might not have really been their fault, or perhaps you might have lashed out at them out of your frustration, then this would be the time to go around and make amends. But more than that, I think this I'm sorry card is for yourself. Perhaps you've just not been listening to what your body is trying to tell you. Perhaps you've been working so hard, so tirelessly that you might be starting to feel a little bit weak and fatigued. So this is a time for you to treat your body well. And also to let yourself be defenseless. I feel like with the Rebellion card, you're building a wall around you. You're being very it's like you have your fists clenched up and you put them in the air and you're being so suspicious of everything around you and so angry at everything around you. But this is a time for you to be more open, to be defenseless. It's okay to accept changes. I also think it's okay for you to accept things that other people say, perhaps constructive criticism. Perhaps there have been something about yourself that you might not have noticed, but other people have noticed, and you just weren't very receptive to it. So this is a time for you to work on yourself. Don't worry if you feel like things are not going well for you, if you feel like you don't know what's going to happen in the future, because this period of time for you is not about the future, it's about yourself. It's trying to gain a new perspective on things with the Hanged Man card here. And with the Page of Swords, I feel like you have been... The feeling I get from the Page of Swords is that I feel like you've been observing other people a lot. You might have been asking yourself, like, why is it that success and happiness come so easily for them, whereas you're struggling so hard? Because the Page of Swords can be about, observing other people from a distance. But it can also be about trying to, especially in this particular rendition of the Page of Swords, it can be about trying to think of a creative solution for something. Just observing the environment, observing the situation around you, and taking some time to think of a creative solution, think of an intelligent solution, because the Suit of Swords are about the mind, about intelligence. So this particular Page of Swords draws inspiration from an Arabic folk tale called Princess... Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'm just going to show you the word. Okay, so from this folk tale over here. So it represents youthful intelligence. So this princess here, Parizade, uses her wit to succeed where others have failed. Her optimism intact through it all. She is a harbinger of new beginnings and new ideas for herself and those around her. So new beginnings. This is about preparing yourself for a new beginning, for growth, as we see in the card here, and also a reminder for you to be optimistic. Okay, don't fall prey to the image of the crows here. This is not the real situation. This is all in your mind. You have mental clarity, you have wit, you have intelligence. This is a time for you to just take stock of what is going on around you. I think I mentioned just now it's not a time for you to make your plans, but it's not a time for you to, make a checklist about all the things you have to complete, but it's a time for you to just quietly contemplate about what is it that you want. Maybe think a little bit about how you are going to go about achieving a goal, or not so much achieving a goal, but how you are going to go about and make yourself happier. And with the Six of Cups and the Page of Swords, like there was something about youthful optimism, and the Six of Cups is about childhood. I think it's time for you to wipe away any hardened, jaded perspective that you have. Look at things from a fresh perspective. Look at things with clear eyes, with youthful eyes. Remember what is it that you wanted in the first place. Remember what it is that you truly want. Perhaps you have been working at your lifelong dream, but you have been derailed because the circumstances have been very hard on you. You have cared more about achieving success, about being better than other people, than truly enjoying the work that you do. So this is a time for you to rekindle that energy, rekindle that creativity, that passion for something. Or it could also be a time for you to, if you have been working at something that you feel like makes no sense to you, that you feel like it's not something that you really want to do, this is a time for you to just try out new things. And don't be afraid to try new things. So the Page of Swords is the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups is about childhood. So there's a sense of adventure to them, no, there's a sense that they are very willing to try new things. They're very open to new things, new ideas. There's a sense of fascination. So this is a time for you to be open to new ideas, to changes, to new things, and do things without expectations, with the expectations that, oh, you have to be good at this thing, you have to succeed. Do things simply because you are curious about it. And with the Hermit as well, the Hermit and this healing card here and the growth card, this is a time for you to it's a time of soul searching. It's a time to find out what it is that you really want. So I just noticed the uprooting card here. Perhaps this is a time for you to uproot what you know, the things that you know. Perhaps it's a time for you, for some of you, it might be time for you to try to find something else entirely that you want to do. Perhaps it's a time of learning as well, so you might be thinking about taking new classes and gaining new skills that would help you in the future. But again, this is not a time for you to think about the future. This is a time for you to think about what you want to do, what you feel like doing. Okay, so with the Page of Swords, as it was mentioned just now, it's about thinking out of a creative solution. But I think the more important thing here is the process of thinking up a creative solution. I feel like you might be somebody who enjoys problem solving, but you might have been so focused on the result that the whole process of problem solving, whole process of thinking up new plans has become very stressful for you. So this is a time for you to just think out of the box, to really enjoy the process rather than to think about the result. It's a time of growth. It's a time for you to focus on the growth, focus on the process. So I mentioned just now that the Rebellion card here holds a couple of meanings. The first one being that I feel like some of you might have been very defensive against your situation, very defensive towards the people around you. But for others, this might be a time for you to reject the expectations that have been put on you. No, I see that with the Rebellion card and the Growth card. And even the Page of Swords card. The Page of Swords has a very independent energy. And the Hermit card, so the Hermit is about rejecting the world and going into a place that feels right to you. That feels right for you. So this is about rejecting all that does not serve you. And focus on your own growth. So it's interesting that in the growth card, there's also the motive of a tree here, a tree taking roots. So here in this card we have the uprooting, and with the growth here, you have about in a guidebook, it talks about a willow tree trying to take root. Making sure your roots are firm, making sure your roots can grow everywhere, making sure you're getting enough nourishment before you can grow. Okay, so this could be about uprooting yourself from a place, from a spot that does not serve you, and planting your roots in a new place that serves you better, and making sure that your foundations are secure. This card reminds me of some foundation as well. So making sure that your foundations are secure, making sure that you're in the right state of mind, making sure you're healthy, making sure you're coming from a place that serves you before you start working towards your goals, before you can grow. And this is also a card that rejects stagnancy because it's about growth, right? It's also about change. So I feel like you might have been feeling stagnant in your career. I say that with the Hanged Man as well, and with the Five of Spades, because this card is about feeling that you have no way out. So I do feel like many of you could have been feeling very stagnant. So this is a time for you to focus on your own healing before you can move forward. Perhaps, by taking a step back, you might be making more progress in certain ways. You might find new inspiration. You might be seeing things from a fresh perspective, a perspective that you've never seen before. The Hanged Man is about gaining a new perspective. The Page of Swords is about perspective, looking at things from a big picture, because with the Page of Swords, we see the page looking at the world around them from higher ground. So taking a step back. The Six of Cups is also about, having a perspective from that of a child, having a childlike perspective on things, returning to your roots. And the Hermit is about a whole new perspective as well. Rejecting the points of view that have been put on you and finding your own perspective on things. So, in short, I think with this spread, this is not a time for you to work very hard to move forward. You might not see immediate rewards over the next 6 months, but this is a time for you to focus on yourself, to take a break, to find out what it is that you really want. And that's all I have for this pile. I hope this resonated with you. I hope that you would be able to achieve your growth and find a new spot to plant your roots in. And if you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing, and I really hope to see you again. Thank you and goodbye. Hi pile 2, let's look at your cards. So first up, we have the Page of Coins, which is a very exciting card to get for career reading. Here we have the High Priestess, the Hanged Man, and the Four of Wands. Here we have Soul Plan, the Fated Life versus the Destiny Life. Winning gave us 6 Wisdom. I almost forgot about this card. This is the Lovers. Next we have the this deity here is the Susano no Mikoto. I think he's the deity of seas, the ocean, sea, and storms in Japanese mythology. And this particular card talks about being calm and being kind towards other people. Here we have power. And finally, we have the King of Diamonds, King Leo. Okay, so for those of you who chose this pile, I think that some of you might be facing a choice in the next 6 months. So I say that because of a couple of cards. The first one being this one here, the I Remember card, Soul Plan, the Fated Life versus the Destiny Life. So this card is about choosing to do what you are meant to do versus what you feel like what you're pressured into doing, essentially. So a very common example of this is that perhaps your family has expectations of you, wants you to go down a particular career path, whereas you feel like you're meant to do something else. You feel like you want to chase some other dream. Okay, that's just one example of it. But you get the gist. This card, more than anything, is about free will. It's telling you that you have the power to make your choice. Yes, we have the power card here. So you have the power to make a choice, to take the road that you feel like is meant for you, even though it may seem uncertain right now. You might be faced with you might think that you might be faced with uncertainties, or it might be the path less traveled, as the guidebook phrases it. So you might feel a little bit apprehensive about going down that path, but the spread is telling you that you have to make a choice. So the Lovers card is also about making a choice, and I like to think of the Lovers card as making a choice that your heart is calling out to you, that your heart is drawn to, simply because this card is, the Lovers. It's about love. And it's also about making choices. With the Lovers card, if you look at the Rider-Waite tradition, there's also an angel involved. There's a sense that this is predetermined. Now, I don't necessarily think that there is a choice here. That is right for you that you must take, because with the free will card here, this card is about free will, but I do think that it's about making a choice based on your own judgment and yours alone. So this is not a time for you to think about to consider what expectations other people have for you, but it's about making a choice that makes sense to you, that feels right to you. It's about reclaiming your own personal power. This card here, Leo, is all about power, authority, and finances. So the suit of diamonds here is, well, it's equivalent to pentacles. It's equivalent to money, basically. And Leo is it's all about money, authority, and finances. So Leo is somebody who's at the top of his game, who's at the top of, in terms of career, he's somebody who has it all, money, power, authority, who's doing exactly what he wants to do, and who knows exactly what he wants to do. So I do feel like this is you have a lot of potential for this in the future. However, because we also have the cards about making a choice, I feel like some of you might be making a choice between taking a path that will lead you to maybe a job with a lot of prestige and money, versus trying to carve out your own path. I say that because of the Page of Coins. The Page of Coins is about planting your own seeds, new beginnings. Of course, for some of you, it might be that you might be planting seeds in the new future, or you have planted seeds for your career, and you would be reaping the rewards within the next 6 months. But for the others, I feel like these two cards represent two different choices. The choice to create something new, to unleash your creativity. The pages in tarot are very creative, so this is a time for you to unleash your creativity. I feel like you might be having a lot of new ideas as well, or it could be for you to follow a more well-established path. No, I don't think that there is a correct answer. There is a path that you have to take. I feel like this is for each and every one of you, this could mean a different answer. Okay, you don't necessarily have to take the path that is less well traveled, that is more dangerous, more adventurous. The regal, stable path might be for you, because I get the sense that Leo enjoys what he does. So, like I said, in its essence, this spread is saying that you should choose the path that makes sense to you. Now, with the Page of Coins, I also see that you might be getting a lot of new ideas. So if you're thinking of starting a business, you might be having a lot of new ideas for the business. This might also be a time for you to learn how to make choices. Okay, you might not be able to embark on all of your plans, all of your ideas, and you'll have to learn to make choices. And I say that with the High Priestess card and even the Hanged Man card as well. The High Priestess is about listening to your intuition, knowing that you're being guided. So, like I mentioned, it's about making choices. And I do get the sense that, no matter what choice you make, it won't be the wrong choice, because you are guided by your intuition. So I don't see you fretting over the choice that you are going to make either. I see that you have all the wisdom that you need. So the Wisdom card here is also about following a hunch. trusting your gut, because wisdom is different from knowledge. It's not just about what is written on paper, what is concrete. It's also about the more abstract ideas, the more abstract tenets of the mind. So I do think that the cards are saying, just trust your gut, trust your intuition, follow your heart, and you will be on the path that is more suited for you. Or perhaps for some of you, it might not even matter which path you choose, because whatever path you choose, it is the right path for you, simply because you are blessed with you're just blessed with money and luck for career, I suppose. With Leo here and with the Page of Coins. And with the Four of Wands, I do see like you have a cause for celebration in the future. I do think that you would be reaping the rewards of your hard work in the future. So you might even be going on a trip. You might be getting a promotion, for instance. So there is a cause for celebration. You might be starting your own business. You might be getting your first paycheck at a new job, or you might be getting your first profit from a business that you've started. So now that we have gotten the more obvious card out of the way, let's look at this card here. Okay, this card, it's about staying calm, regaining your composure. And it's also about finding your kindness again, being kind to other people, which I thought is a very weird card to get for this spread when I first saw this card. But it started to make a bit more sense when I connected it with the cards around it. So let's look at this card here with the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is, well, it's about somebody who has been betrayed and is in they're not in a very comfortable state. So in this particular rendition of the Hanged Man, we have Sleeping Beauty, being poisoned by the apple and is cursed to sleep. And in the traditional Rider-Waite depiction, we see a man who has been hanged upside down. So I think that for some of you, you might be facing some sort of injustice in the future. So perhaps you might get a business contract snatched up by a rival. Perhaps somebody that you're working with might claim credit for something that you have done. Or someone might even steal an idea from you, especially if you're in the creative industry, because the Page of Coins is about creativity, ideas, planting your seed. Somebody might steal that seed of a new idea from you. And this card is a reminder for you to, quell your rage and be kind to others. Don't be impulsive. I see that with the Wisdom card as well. So this is not a time for you to be impulsive. I do see that some of you might have a little bit too much fire in you, if that makes sense, because Leo here. Okay, Leo in this deck is a combination of of earth and fire. With the Power card, I also get a sense that there's some fire here. And with the Page of Coins, the feeling that I'm getting from the Page of Coins is that it's somewhat Page of Coins, conventionally it's that there isn't an element of fire involved, but I just feel like there's a sense of it's almost like a child who has so much ideas, so many ideas, and they are distracted. That's the sense I'm getting. And you might get a little bit too excited. So I think that the cards are also saying, also telling you not to be too impulsive. Be careful when you are making your choice. Do not make a choice based on impulse. So, okay, one situation I can see from the cards is that somebody might be competing with you in some way, and you might feel like you have to compete with them and make a choice to go down that path. But the cards are telling you that you don't have to do that if that is not something that you want to do. Or perhaps this is somebody who has stolen an idea from you in the past, and you feel like, okay, I have to get back at them. I have to make something that is better than them. Oh, the cards are telling you, just forget about them. Do what you want. Do what makes sense to you. With the Hanged Man and this card here, to reminding you to stay calm, I feel like there might be ups and downs over the next 6 months. So you might get some new ideas. You might connect to your intuition and go down the path that feels right to you. But with the Hanged Man, it's also about a pause, hitting a wall. And I feel like some of you might feel like at some point over the next 6 months, you might be stagnant in your progress, in your career. And you might feel very frustrated about it. And it might cause you to lash out at other people unfairly, even, with the card here, reminding you to maintain your composure. Perhaps those other people or that situation might be the reason why you might be the reason why you hit a wall. But I think this card is telling you that you'll be able to get past it. At the end of the 6 months, you will have a celebration here. Okay, the beauty of the Four of Wands is that even though it's the suit of fire with the Four of Wands, the Four of Wands is about fire and stability going hand in hand together. So with fire, we don't often think about stability because of how fickle it is, how difficult to control it is. But with the Four of Wands, you get the best of both worlds. You get stability from the Four, the number 4. It's about stability, so you get the stability from it. It's about returning to your home, feeling at home, but at the same time having the freedom to go out and venture whenever you can. So this Four of Wands card is also about reunion. So if you look at the Rider-Waite cards with the Two of Wands, we see somebody making plans. The Three of Wands, he has gone out on his adventure, and with the Four of Wands, he returns home. However, he's not trapped in his home. He's celebrating with his family, but at the same time, he's free to go out on adventures whenever he wants to. So it's really a card of happiness, of having it all, with the Leo card here as well, just about having it all. And Leo is about the sun, is about confidence. So have confidence that you would be able to overcome. Have confidence that you'll be able to overcome whatever obstacle that you might be facing over the next 6 months. Have confidence that you'll be able to make the choice that is right for you, because you have the wisdom. So I think that if you do face an obstacle over the next 6 months, it's because there's a lesson for you to learn, with the wisdom card. And that's all I have for this pile. I hope this resonated with you. I feel excited for you. If you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing, and please come back again for more readings. Thank you, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye. Hi, Group 3. Let's look at your cards. The very first card here is the Wheel of Fortune, followed by the Ace of Coins, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Coins. The cards for this spread is insane. And here we have Temperance. Next we have Inner Earth. You'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. Here we have the Intellect. So I just noticed that these two cards fell out together. They were stuck together. Usually if they are stuck together, we have two cards that are stuck together, I put them back and shuffle again. I only read two cards together if they flew out. Essentially, I don't read them when they're stuck together. But well, I just noticed it, and I feel like I should read them both for this reading. So here we have the blue moon, the unexpected, and waxing crescent 6, the path. I think there's a reason why I didn't notice that. I actually would notice that if two cards fall out together, but I think there's a reason why I didn't notice it for this reading, and I think that it's telling me not to put it back and that they should be read together. Next, we have this card here, the Iwanagahime. Okay, so the words on top say, feeling safe and secure. And I think this card is saying that it's time for you to be recognized. And finally, the Ace of Hearts, Agana. I hope it's pronounced Agana. Okay, first of all, let me just point out something interesting that I've noticed. So on first look, we see that the tarot cards depict such, or rather they paint a picture of such overwhelming success. You know, all the cards talk about wealth, talk about fortune, talk about recognition. But here, we have a card here that says, Inner Earth, you'll survive these new solutions and beginnings, which implies that there might be an obstacle that you would have to overcome. So what I can gather from the cards is that there might be some unexpected changes coming to you over the next 6 months. I say that because of the combination of the Wheel of Fortune and Inner Earth, as well as the two cards here, the Path and the Unexpected. And also the Ace of Hearts here, but I'll get to that in a moment. Let's start with Inner Earth and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune doesn't just mean that that fortune is coming to you. It's essentially about how there are ups and downs in life. Nobody's life can be smooth sailing all the time. So there are fortune and misfortune comes hand in hand. That's just the way life is. So I do see some of that idea in this reading, in this spread. So, okay, I would also like you to note that when I was shuffling the Ace of Coins, when it fell out, it came out upside down. So I don't normally read reversals, but I like to take note of them if they do fall out upside down, and I prefer to read them in relation to the cards around them. So read the positive or negative meanings that each card hold in relation to the other cards around them. So I don't think that the Ace of Coins here is saying that it is embodying the negative meaning of it entirely, but I do think that when coupled with the Wheel of Fortune, the Inner Earth, and the two cards by the side, the Path and the Unexpected, I do think that there might be some ups and downs over the next 6 months. And they might be out of your control. However, with, like I said, the unexpected, I think that these changes in the circumstances is out of your control. However, with the Path here, so this particular card is about being lost in a dark forest. However, the Path will unexpectedly present itself to you, the path towards the light. You know, the path that you are supposed to be heading towards will present itself to you in due time. And that's the sense that I get with this card as well. So or rather that's the sense that I get with this spread. So there might be some unexpected downturn in your fortune over the next 6 months. However, in due time, you would be reaping your rewards. You would be recognized. It would be time for your efforts to be recognized. It would be time for you to shine. Because I mean, if you just look at the tarot cards alone, this is just a ridiculously uplifting spread. Okay, so with the Temperance card, there's alchemy in Temperance. It's about the mixing of elements, and in relation to the other cards here, I think that you might be gaining something new from the setback that you might be encountering. So for example, it might feel like a setback at first, but a better opportunity might come out of it. So it's about learning a lesson and growing as a person. Creating something better out of it, because there's a sense of creation in alchemy as well. Alchemy is about making gold, so it's about transmuting your experiences and turning them into gold. And having patience as well. So things might not work out right from the beginning. That's why the cards here says you'll survive this, but know that everything will be turned to gold in the end. Now do note that the Ace of Coins here, this particular rendition draws inspiration from Jack and the Beanstalk. So Jack used to be very poor, and he sold, I believe he sold his chicken or something or his cow or something for magic beans. And that might seem foolish at first, and he even had to go on an adventure and face giants before he reaped his rewards. Before he got the golden eggs, was it? Yeah, before he became rich, he had to overcome certain obstacles. So this might be your situation. It might seem a little bit you might be faced with some uncertainty, you might be faced with a lot of unknown variables, but everything will turn out to be extraordinarily successful for you in the end. Look at the Six of Coins and the Nine of Coins. The Six of Coins is about victory. It's about overcoming a hurdle and obtaining victory. And the Nine of Coins is about luxury, enjoying your wealth and enjoying your independence. It's also about feeling very secure. So the Nine of Coins is about how after a period of hard work, you can finally reap the fruits of your labor. Look at how happy the guy in the card looks. And the Six of Coins and the card here, the Iwanagahime, is about gaining recognition, basking in your glory. So I think that you might be embarking on a new project. It's very likely that you might be embarking on a new project and exercising your intellect over the next 6 months. And you might be faced with some unexpected setbacks at first. So for example, just to give you an example, you might be... So this is a story that I've heard when I went to this eatery the other day. So it's a newly opened eatery, but after it was opened, it was hit with lockdown and people weren't able to dine in. So they had to pivot their business and try a lot harder to attract customers who would come and buy their food and bring it home. So that might be an unexpected setback, but you might be looking for new ways to reach out to your audience, to reach out to your consumers. If you're in a creative industry, you might be, let's say you're in advertising, you might be thinking of new ways to reach out to your customer base. So these are just some examples. Now with the unexpected, the card here, Blue Moon. So this card could be about some unexpected setbacks, but also about unexpected blessings. So there might be a period of time where you feel like you're not sure where you're headed. but do know that unexpected blessings would come to you. And this card here, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Hearts. This is a very powerful card. It's about desire. It could be about unexpressed desires, just, marinating in your heart. With this card and the Six of Wands and this card here, the Iwanagahime, I think it's about expressing your desires. It's safe for you to express your desires. So some of you might have felt that if you've expressed your desire, you might jinx yourself in some way, because of the Wheel of Fortune. But this, the Ace of Hearts is telling you that it's not healthy for you to bottle everything up, and that you are justified in feeling what you feel. This Ace of Hearts is also about seeking out what your heart desires, seeking out what fills you, because fulfilling your desire is a basic need and you deserve it. It's about letting your emotions run and expressing them. So if you're in a creative industry, this might really be the time for you to express your emotions. So don't be too caught up in your intellect. I do see multiple readings that I can make up with this card here. So it's good for you to use your wit to confront your issues, but don't be too caught up in the mind. Okay? Be connected with your subconscious as well. So if you look at this Agana card, the Ace of Hearts, you see that the card has one eye closed. This represents its connection with the subconscious mind, with your passion. So there's a line in the handbook that comes with this deck that I really like. Let me read it to you. Just as water must flow out of its bed in order to cycle through nature and be renewed, emotion must be drawn from the well of Agana, or our inner water becomes stagnant. The valleys of our life become dry, and passion dies out before it is born. So this card is about expressing your desire, channeling your desire outwards. Stop repressing your desires for some of you. And I feel like this card might be related to the obstacle that you might be facing. So for some of you, you might have a hard time expressing yourself. I see that with the Temperance card as well. The Temperance card is about a state of peace, it's about alchemy, it's about the idea of water, of flow, is present in the Temperance card as well. So for some of you, it might be learning how to, it's about you channeling the flow of your emotions outward in a productive manner and creating something out of it. And get away from that state of repression, from bottling up your desires, feeling like your desires are unworthy. So if you can get past that obstacle, I feel like you would be entering into your fortune, coming into your fortune, and holding the solution in your hands, like the Ace of Coins, really holding the path to glory in your hands. And when you come into your fortune, there's just going to be so much happiness. I do feel like at the end of the 6 months, you would be coming into abundance, having lots of abundance, and feeling so immensely proud of yourself. With the the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Coins, there's a sense that you are so proud of yourself, with the heart here as well. So over the next 6 months, you would be working on something that you are truly you truly care about and truly involved in, and you would be so proud of what you would be achieving. You would be recognized for your efforts. And that's all I have for this group. I hope this resonated with you. Overall, I would say that this is a very positive, very uplifting, very magical reading. If you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing, and I really hope to see you again. Please come back for more readings. Thank you and goodbye. Hi, group 4. Let's look at the cards that you have. The very first card here, we have the Magician. Next, we have the Hierophant. So 2 major arcana cards right off the bat. Next, we have the King of Wands and the 8 of Coins. Next, we have Messenger, serious energy bringing harmony and balance. Here we have Loss. Okay, almost forgot about this. Here we have the High Priestess card. Next up is Hunter Moon, Abundance. Okay, next we have the Konohana Sakuya Hime, and the word on top says beauty, and this card is about the time of blossoming. It's time to blossom, essentially. And finally, we have the Queen of Hearts, Dija. Okay, so the first thing I see with this spread is that from the Magician and the Hierophant, I think that you might be receiving help from somebody in the future. So you might have a benefactor, a mentor, or just somebody who magically cleared up all your obstacles for you and gave you a lot of guidance and wisdom. And so that is one instance or one way, one reading of the Magician and the Hierophant here, because the Magician card in this particular deck is represented by the fairy godmother in Cinderella. So you might have a fairy godmother who is looking out for you. And with the Hierophant gets a lot of bad rep, understandably, but I think that in this particular instance, it could be talking about somebody who's like a mentor to you, who is helping you in some ways. Especially since in this rendition of the Hierophant, it's about it takes inspiration from the story of the White Buffalo Woman. I'm not very sure what it's about, but this is a woman who is a divine figure who shares rules and rites and rituals for everybody to follow, so that there is a place for everyone. So this isn't a sinister, or this isn't necessarily a sinister Hierophant figure. However, like I said, this is just one possible reading of the Magician and the Hierophant card in this particular spread. So with these 2 cards and the Messenger cards, I do see that it's possible that somebody might be giving you a piece of news or offering you an opportunity that would be very useful in your career, very useful in advancing your career. With the Abundance card as well, this card, okay, this is a very exciting card for career reading. But more than that, this card is also about making use of the abundance that you have, making use of the abundance that is coming to you and creating more opportunities out of it. So it's like getting the ball rolling, using your first paycheck and investing it in something else, for instance. However, like I mentioned, reading the Magician, the Hierophant, and the Messenger as a possible benefactor or mentor is only one possibility that might arise. I think that for the others, the Magician, Hierophant, and Messenger could be could represent a different set of circumstances. Okay, let me explain. So the Magician is about somebody channeling divine forces and being attuned with all the elements of nature. So I think that this could be you in the next 6 months. So it feels like you're coming into your own being. You're very sure of what you want to do, and you are very in touch with all the different elements, all the different aspects of your career, all the different ingredients that you need, and creating something out of it. However, the Hierophant, to read it in a more negative light, it could be a sort of restraint. You're being bound by conventions. So I think with the High Priestess card and the Queen of Hearts here, Deja, is telling you to be, instead of being bound by conventions, is telling you to listen to your own gut, to your own intuition. You realize that Deja's eyes, the Queen of Hearts, has her eyes closed because she's so involved in her inner world. I feel like she's in her dreams. She's exploring her subconscious. She's very attuned to her own energy, her own rhythm. So don't get caught up with the rhythm, with other people's rhythm. Don't get caught up with other people's rules and other people's wisdom. Be more in sync with your own wisdom. So that could be another possibility that the cards are showing. Or it could also be that you might be creating something in the near future that might be for the good of the community around you. So I do see a lot of different possibilities with this pile. So just take what resonates with you. Right, that kind of makes sense as well because of the messenger card. So you might be the messenger who's bringing harmony and balance to your community through your career. So your career might be related to helping your community, or you might be in the artistic. Your career might be somewhat artistic as well. Although I don't really like to make the dichotomy between the arts and the more intellectual or other branches of career, because I feel like no matter what job you are in, there's always room for creativity, and there's always room for intellect. There's always room for other aspects of the mind. It's like Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley writes about is concerned about the advancement of science and writes about it and creates art based on it. So it's like an amalgamation of science and art. So that's the feeling I get from this spread. So I think you might be doing something that crosses boundaries, that is something new, that is a combination of different careers. For instance, you might be coming out with something entirely new. You might be drawing inspiration from different places. So I really do get the sense that your career has got something to do with beauty, something to do with connecting with your subconscious, because of the High Priestess card and the Deja card. These two cards are about connecting with your subconscious, but also with this card here, the Konohana Sakuya Hime. So based on my understanding, Sakuya Hime is like the goddess of transient beauty in Japanese mythology. So with this card, it's time to blossom. It's saying that you might be creating something that is very beautiful, or you might just be being admired for your efforts in your career, at your job, or being admired for an accomplishment, or being admired for your role. I see that with the Magician and the Hierophant as well. The High Priestess and the Hierophant, they are also, well, they could be people or just aspects of yourself that just personas that people go to when they need help. So the Hierophant is the spiritual leader of a community, but the High Priestess is the aspect of yourself, the persona that you turn to when you need guidance on something. So that could be related to your career. You might be creating something that helps other people, or you might also be just very attuned with your intuition and wisdom about the path that you need to take in order to have abundance, in order to blossom. Now the Queen of Hearts here is very interesting. So in the guidebook, it mentions that it's very unconventional to have a court figure who is painted with their eyes closed. So this is a queen who is not bound by courtly rules and regulations. This is a queen who might be a little bit whimsical, who is almost larger than life, who's almost like a fairy queen or a mythological queen. So this isn't a queen who governs the castle, who makes rules and regulations for everyone, but it's a queen that people go to for spiritual comfort, who's a bit of a mystery to everyone. So I do see that over the next 6 months, you would be just doing whatever you feel like, essentially. So you're not so concerned about hitting a particular mark. You're not concerned about doing what other people wants to see. And with the Hunter Moon abundance here, I think this is very self-explanatory. You would have a lot of abundance over the next 6 months. And this isn't just about financial abundance or opportunities. This is also about fulfillment, feeling abundant. So you would be very pleased with what you would be doing over the next 6 months. The King of Wands is also about passion and about making something out of your passion. Like I said, this is a court card. Like the Queen here is a court card. It's about... Well, kings in tarot are traditionally about governance, but with the King of Wands, there's always a sense of adventure, of unpredictability, and this particular King of Wands card is represented by a phoenix, so something that is reborn, rebirth. This card also talks about rebirth as well, so I really think you might be creating something new in the next 6 months. I don't know what it is. It could be different for each and every one of you. So you might be inventing something. I don't know. If you are in a more conventional career, I think you might be coming up with a new solution that would just revolutionize everything. Or you might be writing a book. You might be creating an art film of sorts. Just whatever that you do would be admired by people and by yourself. You would truly feel proud of it. You would truly feel that whatever you created, whatever you're going to create is beautiful. And also very new. Like I said, with the King of Wands, there's a sense that it's something that is rising from the ashes. Now, this particular card, Messenger, besides bringing something new to the world, is also, bringing something new. The Magician, you are creating something new, creating something magical. And this particular card, bringing harmony and balance, is also about balancing the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. So it reminds me of the Temperance card as well. With the Queen of Hearts, there's a very strong sense of balance, of harmony. I think one interpretation for it could be that you would be you would feel like you're in harmony, like with the world around you, your internal world and the external. Everything will be in harmony. You would be channeling your ideas outwards seamlessly. It could also mean that whatever project you are going to embark on is going to bring a sense of balance to at your workplace, for instance. Or it could be that whatever you are going to create, if you are going to create art, it could be something that is very peaceful and very beautiful, very tranquil. So these are just different interpretations for it. So take what resonates with you, or if you could find another interpretation to the idea of harmony here, you could leave it in the comments below as well and tell me how that resonates with you, how the idea of balance and harmony resonates with you. I do also think that some of you might be working as a counselor of sorts and bringing peace to other people. You're taking on the role of the fairy godmother and the hierophant and the high priestess and even the queen here. So like a more an emotionally mature figure. But more than that, I do feel like you are at peace with yourself. So you are not going to be in doubt over the next few months. You're very sure about what you're going to do. And with the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Coins is about working tirelessly at your job, putting in a lot of hard work. It's about apprenticeship, and apprenticeship is about learning. So I think that the next 6 months would be a period of working very hard for you. So you would throw yourself into your work. However, I don't see that this is going to tire you out, because just from the sense I get with all the cards here, with the blossoming card, with abundance, with being attuned with your subconscious, with the high priestess and the queen of hearts, and even with a king of wands, being so excited, having that passion, that fiery energy, being like a phoenix rising from your ashes, the idea that you are soaring. So I think that in the next 6 months you are so sure about what you want to do that your career feels invigorating to you. You are very excited to be doing what you do. So you're not just like working at a job to make ends meet, toiling at a thankless job, toiling at something that you do not want to do, but you are doing something that truly resonates with you, that you're very excited to improve on. You truly sincerely want to better yourself, want to improve your skills, want to create something better. You're very idealistic, I think. And you want to make that ideal a reality. So I do see you closing your eyes and imagining the world, or imagining the thing that you want to create, and slowly but surely bringing that into reality and enjoying yourself in the process. And finally, with the card on loss here. So I don't think you should be overly concerned with this card. I think that sometimes loss might not be a bad thing. So loss isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just think that you might be cutting off a part of yourself that no longer serves you, that no longer resonates with you. So moving forward in life, I think that this is a symbol for moving forward in life. Perhaps moving to a new place to do your dream job. So that might feel like a loss, moving out of the place that you are familiar with, but at the same time there would be many opportunities, many exciting new things that are going to open up to you. Or again, if you're somebody who creates art, you might be channeling a loss that you have suffered in the past, channeling a past memory and creating something artistic out of it. Oh, with the loss and the abundance card, like I mentioned, the abundance card is about finding opportunities in the abundance given to you, or having an abundance of different opportunities. So sometimes you lose some things and you gain some. So I do see that you might be losing certain things in your life that you no longer need, and gaining new opportunities as a result of it, gaining new inspiration as a result of it. Overall, I think that you might not necessarily be reaping a lot of financial rewards over the next 6 months, because in two of the previous piles I see a lot of financial rewards involved. But for you, I see that it's more of working on something that you truly believe in. So it's a work in progress. So there would be abundance. There would be money, of course. There's abundance, but you might not be having a stroke of wealth, of having an unprecedented amount of wealth coming in, for example. So you would be relatively well-to-do, but more than that, it's about working towards a goal that you are excited about and feeling abundant. And just planting the seeds of abundance for future rewards. So perhaps you would be receiving a lot of money after the 6 months, after the period of 6 months is over, after the eight of coins about you working at something. So when that is over, you might be reaping your rewards. So for example, if you are starting a new business, it might be going well, you might be covering your costs, you might be enjoying your new business a lot, but you might only receive receive that luxurious wealth after the period of 6 months, after the initial period of your new business. So that's all I have for this pile. I hope this resonates with you. But with the magician and the blossoming card here and the abundance card, I do see that it's a very optimistic period for you. I hope this has resonated with you. If you like this reading, please consider coming back for more readings and please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching this video and goodbye.